Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on if you're watching recording or if you're on live. We are so excited every month to be here together as sisters and learning from each other and learning new things, reminding each other of things that we may have done before, but stopped doing it and we need to kick in the pants to do it again, whatever that might be. But I'm always excited to learn from all of you and learn new tricks and skills that you guys have. So I want to thank Erin, and I think it's Fluharty. Is that how you say it?
It's Fluharty. Fluharty.
Okay, that's actually, it's the way it's like written.
Identical to the way it's spelled, written. Yes, yes.
People hack my name up too. It's Markowitz is exactly how it's spelled, but they did like Markowski or some. I'm like, where did that come from? So anyway, sorry for hacking that one up.
No, you're fine. I married into that name. My maiden name was Randall. I'm like, why couldn't I just have a normal last name? Okay.
So we're going to get started. Erin is here with us to talk about prospecting new customers and finding new business with systems and tools online. And I, for one, am very excited about this because I'm a dinosaur when it comes to all that stuff. I so need to get with the times and learn all those awesome strategies. So I am not going to take any more time. If you could just give us a little bit of background about how, just your story, because I don't know your story as far as how you got started and all that fun stuff. And maybe when you hit SSD and maybe your team name, all that fun stuff that we like to hear. And then go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for having me. I did not get nervous until my computer was giving me issues, and now I'm like shaking my arm, my hands are sweaty and everything. So you guys will have to bear with me until I get into my groove. You know how we all are. So, okay, so my name is Erin Fluharty. I am a Superstar Director. I just hit Superstar Director in October of 2020. So I was a 2020 COVID SSD, you know how that is. There's tons of us. And so I actually am a reinstatement. That's a big part of my story. I don't feel like I am anyone special. I know Sean is going to get mad at me for saying so, but I don't feel like I had this crazy, amazing story. But 2012, I came on board, somebody I didn't really know what I was going to do with Cincy, and I just kind of decided, you know what, this isn't for me. Threw away everything in my kit except for my warmer, and in 2014, so 2 years later, I was very pregnant and found a Facebook party that a friend was having, and within a couple of months, I was kind of the consultant of hers under her, not really a consultant, but I guess I was a hostess that was just not a consultant being paid yet, if you will. I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, she would send me like parties to bring in, doing a party, right? I'm flowing over my words. Anyway, I just did parties for her. She was getting the payments, the commission for it. And somebody at some point who I barely knew asked me, why aren't you getting commission off of this? And I was like, I don't really know. And then I realized I had done Cincy, and a couple of years ago I had forgotten. And so that's, I came back. I reinstated. I hit director in 6 months, and star director was the next year. And then it took me a while to get to SSD, and I hit SSD in 2020. So officially, I've been with Cincy 10 years this coming year. So, okay, so that's about me. Nothing, again, I'm not anyone special, but I am a reinstate. So don't ever discredit your reinstates. We have a lot that, Shauna, we have a lot of people, I'm sure, that have come onto our teams that just do nothing. But I will say that there is something to be said for the ones that you spend some time with and give good support. I have had great support for a long time within my upline. So
can I stop you really fast? Because I think what you just pointed out is so huge. And I think that happens a lot, that because the majority of reinstatements end up really doing nothing anyway. So the attention doesn't get there as much as it should. Can I just ask you what was different as far as your starting process? Like, is your onboarding, like it was a new consultant, obviously.
Yes, new consultant. And what was funny is that the old consultant had gone inactive, and then she started buying from me a couple years ago. I think she's buying from Trina Murray now, because they both live in Colorado, I think, but it doesn't matter. But I will say that support played a huge role. I have my sponsor was incredibly supportive, very good community within groups. We had lots of really good information that was provided. And I think it was one of those things where, like, I was a new mom. I had a 2-month-old, and I just was doing what I could when I could, to be honest. It was overnights, and she was like my sponsor was available, and it was crazy. And I try to be that way now. But as we grow and as we get bigger, we disconnect a lot from a lot of people. And so just the onboarding is a struggle for me too. And so that's something that I need to work on for myself. But I feel like the ones that are just like running and going with it, I'm cool with them. Like they're the ones that I can associate with, if you will. But no, I think the big thing was the differences was where I was in my life at that point. I was working full time. I needed that paycheck, but coming into my reinstatement time frame, I was a new mom, and I had quit a job. I moved to South Carolina. I had a job for 2 weeks, and I was pregnant and emotional, and I was like, these people are treating me crappy. Oh.
Can everybody mute themselves, please? If you're not muted, we have some background noise.
Okay.
iPhone. Oh, thank you.
So just basically saying that it was really about my mindset. I knew I needed it. I needed to make it work because I needed the income. But I needed something else from me. I just needed something more than just being a new mom too.
Circumstances, like circumstances changed, your life, your needs changed. That's so important. I think the question came in my brain when you were saying that, is that we need to be asking what's different, what's different in your life. Why do you think this is going to work this time? Or why do you need this to work this time? So that's so fascinating. I love hearing reinstatement stories like yours. It's inspiring. I mean,
Yes. I have my college best friend. She just reinstated for the 4th time. And she's like, I think this is the time, Erin. This is the time. And so we Marco Polo every day. And she's like, I don't think I could do this without you. And I'm like, yes, you could. But she's like, I'm more confident because you're giving me more tools. And so I think it is important that the connections that you make with people. So anyway, I think a big part of my story, and that's why I feel like I'm really good at.
From my YouTube.
Bree, can you mute yourself, please?
Alexa, play from my Bluetooth.
Bree, can you mute yourself?
Alexa, connect to my YouTube, my Bluetooth.
Bree Franco, can you mute yourself, please?
And you just told. Now my Alexa's talking to me.
Alexa, connect to my Bluetooth.
Let me text Shannon, and she'll be able to mute her. I can't because I'm not the host.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Hopefully we'll be able to.
Okay. So one of the big things that I have really truly loved about this business was meeting people. And coming from hotel sales, I worked in the hotel industry in the Northern Virginia, DC area, and before I moved to Charleston, South Carolina. So I used what I knew how to do from that job and brought it to this business. So truly just asking questions and talking to people and finding common bonds has been one of my biggest, I don't know what the word is, but the best best practice that I could take away from the first beginning of my journey with Scentsy was that I felt that I found that quickly, the common bond with people. So I think that's incredibly important when you're prospecting for new business, whether it's hosts or people to join your team, or to just in general. And people that are not any of those, that are just going to refer you to people, because I definitely have friends on my Facebook that are those people too. Okay, so the first thing that I ever did was I started joining Facebook groups. And I know we all know that. We all know that, oh yeah, there's all these groups out there we can be part of. They're not going to allow you to have your posts for your business. There are only enough specific, days where you can post things. But I find that when you find those common bond groups and you start making those connections with people, you start to be able to connect on a more personal level. Obviously, we all know this, okay? But going into each of these groups, so let's just say you find, like we have Charleston Mom Swap here. There's like 75,000 people in this group. It's huge. So that would be one place that I would typically go. And one thing I've always found that's been really successful is posting about goodie bags. Okay, so when I say it is this simple, do not make it any more complicated. This is what I tell my team every time I talk about this, because I'm like, you better not overcomplicate this, because you're going to get yourself booted from the group, I swear. All you got to do is go on and say, I have 25 Scentsy goodie bags. Who wants one? ? Post. No URL, no pictures. And most of the time it's me. You'll get tons, and I'm not kidding you. The first time I did that, I had 74 comments. 74 comments, and it only took just a few minutes. And obviously, yes, it's a huge group. So the odds of that happening are very high, right? So that was right before I got married, and that was in 2015. So since then, it has been just as successful every time I've done it, and I've actually had a lot of my teammates find success in it. And the successful part, the thing that makes it the most success is that not only do you need to go in and friend them. So when you do this post, you go to their comment, you click on their name, you friend request them, and then you send them a message. I've got this all in a Google document, so I will share that. So then you send them a message and just say, hey, Jessie, thanks so much for your interest in my Scentsy goodie bag. I'll need your address, obviously. But so I'll typically say, hey, Jessie, thanks so much for your interest in the goodie bag. Do you use Scentsy? And then I'll say, hey, would you mind giving me your address so I can send it out? So then I started getting a little bit quicker and quicker and quicker. And I'm like, how am I going to make this easier on me? So then I decided to do a Google form. So I could put the Google form in the comments, or I could put it in the message to them. So I know we've got Google form, we've got Jot form, we've got a million different things that you probably could use. But I do find that when you have an actual conversation with somebody in the message itself, you find out, what their favorite scent is, or if they've used Scentsy. We all know this, we're at the level we're at, but those are the small, little, simple things that people appreciate, and they're not just feeling like a person on a conveyor belt type thing. So you think, okay, 74 conversations, Erin, how did you do that? So I had 74 open messages. This is back when I didn't have a form. I was literally, taking those email addresses, home addresses, and putting them into an Excel. And then I literally was writing them down on an envelope or whatever I was sending. And a lot of times I will tell you, if they were really close to me, I would just take the bag to their house. There were definitely some sketchy areas, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this, but okay. So I definitely learned my lesson, because obviously it's a lot easier just to mail things, but there's a cost with that. So I try to be very clear, hey, 25, if you want that to be your limit, that's your limit. If you want to go more, then you just keep taking pretending that there's still spots. Hey guys, I've still got 10 spots left, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I have had a lot of success with that, in the sense that as long as you Facebook message them, and as long as you become friends with them, and obviously I know there's a lot of weirdos out there, but we all kind of realize in this business we have to meet people, we have to become connected with them, and we have to show them who we really are. Like, know, and trust, right? Everybody knows that. So, so I will say that's probably my very first thing I ever started doing when it came to social media. I started getting on the groups, and I started sharing Scentsy, giving away free samples, and I still have tons of people who have maybe not ever bought from me, but still tag me on posts when somebody's looking for a consultant. And then I'll have people who have hosted with me. I'll have people who have joined my team that may be around, may not be around anymore. And then people who have, so I said join. I definitely have had a lot of hostesses. I've definitely had a lot of people who have joined. It's obviously that it may have taken a little time, but I can say, I can do the testimony that this works. So, but you have to keep it simple. I have 25 Scentsy goodie bags. Who wants one? That's it. No URLs, no photos. Okay. And I always, in the comments, I always like their comment, and I'll always say in a reply, please check your private messages. And that's so that way I know that I've responded to them. That keeps my anxiety level down with the OCD of like, who have I talked to, who have not, you know, that kind of thing. So that helped a lot. Okay, so that's goodie bags. And like I said, I have all of these pieces of information in a Google document that I will share. And there is one thing I want to, if I'm allowed to, can I share my screen, or if
You should be able to.
If Shannon.
Yeah, go ahead and try it.
Okay. So I'm not going to do that one right this second, but because that's one thing I wanted to make sure I had the ability to do. I'm going to go ahead and get it up on my screen so I'm ready. The next thing is something that's super, super simple, is posting on your friend's wall. And I think so many of us forget about this, and maybe you've done it in the past, but literally posting on your wall saying, hey, I'm looking to expand my network, or I'm looking for new connections, however you want to word it. But basically saying, would any of my friends let me post on your wall? And so then, I know, this is like really lame, you guys, but it does work, I swear.
Now, I am learning a lot. Rolling, sister.
I'm like, what am I bringing to the table here? Seriously, but
no,
okay.
Keep going. Not just me. We're all learning. Thank you.
Okay, so posting on somebody else's. Thank you, Ashton. I appreciate that. So literally posting on somebody else's wall and saying, and again, I have the verbiage. You don't have to remember it or write it down. I have it. I will share it. And it's just basically saying, Emily was kind enough to let me post on her wall. My name is Erin. I'm a Scentsy consultant, and I am looking to meet new people. I would love to send anybody who comments below a free sample of Scentsy to try. And I would probably put no strings attached, no purchase necessary. It's free, whatever you guys want to say. Keeping it very simple. Yes, Morgan, I will definitely. I have all the Google documents. Well, it's links and stuff that I can provide for sure. And and I wanted to show you. Let me backpedal because I know we all know what to put in goodie bags, but I figured I'd pull one out for one that I do now, but maybe opposed to what I used to do is probably a lot different because, you know, the more we make, the more we spend, right? So when I was way back, I would probably not have done a showcase brochure, but I always do showcase brochures now. And yes, so whoever just asked about the verbiage and such, it will be in the document that I share. It's a Google document that I'm going to share with everybody. So definitely a showcase brochure, but I have definitely done product sheets in the past. Purifier. Again, all of this I'm going to share if you don't have.
Madison, have you loaded the washer?
Can everybody mute?
Yourself?
Okay, so I have the purifier information because obviously no one knows that we sell purifiers. Some of my fall favorites, Jessica Villarreal created this. I need to fix it because it's fall and not winter. Join your journey. I think Chloe Cox made this forever ago, and again, I'll share that. Just the new release stickers. This is what I'm sharing now, but honestly, it was probably literally like a sample of wax and or washer whiffs. I used to do washer whiffs a lot. So, and then flyer. I have one of these that Katie Farner, she created these. I replicated it with my colors, and it's just get paid to club. Holiday brochure. I've got a ton of flyers in here, you guys. This is like not the norm, but I mean, samples, I always want to give them something that didn't require a warmer. And so I would typically have done washer whiffs in the past because I knew how to make those, and those just went in a bag. And ever since then, I've started to be able to get like plastic bottles and, extra things to make samples with. So anyway, so kind of use your imagination, whatever the mix is that you want to do. Goodie bags and putting them in the mail or dropping them off. I even used to use, you guys know the bags that have the little doorknob opening in them. They used to be used for like newspapers. I think they might still be. Anyways, I have like thousands of those. I still have thousands of those, and I would hang them on doorknobs in my neighborhood. And that's a whole other way to prospect. I'll add that. That's number 5. Canvassing in your neighborhood, just putting things on people's doors. Is another really great way just to get your information out there, especially if you're like me and you've got a massive amount of samples that you want to get rid of before the new catalog begins. The next one is the Friends wall. I kind of dove into that one and had to backpedal, so I apologize, but posting on somebody else's wall, just saying, thank you to them, letting people know, hey, I've got samples to provide. Just comment below and I'll send you a message. Obviously, we want to do the same thing as you would with the goodie bags, where you are friend requesting them and you're sending them a private message and you're saying, hey, do you already use Scentsy? What's your favorite scent? What products have you tried? Getting those conversations started. Okay, so that is Friends Wall, goodie bag, and then canvassing was the other one. So just basically putting together goodie bags, walking in your neighborhood, walking in neighborhoods. I used to go with my team. Honestly, I used to go with my team. Like 2 or 3 of us would go, and we just hang goodie bags on people's doors. Don't touch mailboxes. Federal offense. Don't do that. I'm not saying that's allowed. Just doorknobs, and that's okay. Okay. The next part is
a question.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to answer this, but once people comment and they say they want the sample and you send it off, what do you, is this verbiage, it might be in your form that you're going to share, but how do you, did you like what I sent? What do you say? Because I tried that before and I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, great.
So I'm just like,
I'm so glad you liked it.
And I don't want to be like, well, do you want to buy some? I don't know what to say. So can you share that?
Yes, no. So I would, I typically I'm finding that if you don't follow up, you're just going to waste your money. So you don't want to waste your money by saying, hey, okay, cool, thanks. Glad you liked it, But I find that if there will be plenty of people who will ghost you. I'm not going to tell you everybody's going to respond. There's going to be tons of people who probably just want free samples. It's okay. I have to tell my team that every time that, there's going to be those times where people just want free stuff. So when I do find people, they typically will say, oh my gosh, I love blank.
Is she frozen for everybody or just me? Thumbs up if she's frozen, because I see all you moving. Okay. Let me, oh, there she is.
I think my internet went down. I apologize.
You're good.
All good? All good? Okay. So, okay, so typically they would come to me. Typically I have found that predominantly people have come to me and say, oh my gosh, I got your stuff in the mail. I love it. And, I want to order, or, but so generally speaking, if they're not coming to me, then I am going to them probably within like a 3-day window. And I will say, what did you think of the product? And I will be very specific in what the products were, because I'll know what I sent. And
Oh, it'll clear up in a second. There you are.
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I mean, there couldn't be enough technological issues in my life this morning. I couldn't get my other computer to work. So, okay. So I would almost always say, did you know you could get it for free or half off? And I'll stop there with that, so nobody misses anything more about that. Just in case I happen to fall off again. The last thing that I want to mention is a map post. And there is a website you can go to, and you can do one of two things. You can say, okay, I'm going to color in the states that I have consultants in, or I'm going to color in states that I have clients in, or, count countries or whatever. You post this map on your wall. Probably won't try and share this link just because I'm already having issues. So I will share the link and everything in my Google document, so you have that. But the map itself, you can color it in. You just click on the state itself. I'm sure that I'm not telling somebody. There's got to be someone here who's done this before. But you color in the state, and you actually can save that image, and you can share it or post it on your wall. And you'd say, hey guys, I'm looking for some help with a mailing project. Again, I have all of the details I'll share. I'm doing a mailing project. I need some help. For those states that are not colored in, and if you know someone, or you or someone you know lives in one of the states that's not colored in, will you please comment below? And so basically you're trying to get people to either post for them or comment for themselves, or tag someone they know. And so you're going to obviously friend request if it's somebody they know, and then ask for their mailing address. Now, what you're going to tell them is that you're going to send them some samples in the mail, and you're testing to make sure that they are being received and not squished or messed up. And all you're asking in return is that they send you a picture or just message you to let you know how the samples were received. And what are we really doing, you guys? We're really just sending samples to people, and we're getting new contacts, hopefully. So that's the map post. The other one, and it's kind of hit or miss, is Marketplace. Yes, you can post in Marketplace. You can do those types of things. But have you guys ever gone into a post for all the Scentsy stuff that people post? There's lots of people out there who are actually legitimately selling, stuff that they have on hand, that they're no longer a consultant, blah, blah, blah. But then they're not responding to comments, you guys. I have a new consultant on my team who commented that she wanted some of the bars on this person's post. She is now almost a star consultant, joined me in, when did she join? May. Joined me in May. She's a star consultant. She commented on one of the posts. I friend requested her and sent her a message and just said, hey, I saw that you were interested in some Scentsy. She responded, struck up a conversation. I don't even know how I found this post on Marketplace, but she had commented, was not getting a response from the person that posted the stuff. And we started up conversation, and the rest is history. Like, she had a party for me. It was like $500. I think she ended up having another party really quickly after that. There was another like, she hit certified very, very quickly. Now, and she's already a lead, and she's already got 5 people on her team. Like, crazy. I know that that's not the case for every situation, but you guys, it worked. And I know it's really hard sometimes to go in a marketplace and like see those comments. I don't know why it's different now, but this wasn't very long ago. I mean, this is the beginning of the year where you could go in and look at the like click on the picture and you could see the comments. But now I guess in the app it's different. So it is kind of hit or miss with that one, and that's why I left that to last. But it is possible to find people in those posts and just literally saying in a message, hey, I saw you were interested in Scentsy. And this girl, her name's Nicole, she thought that I was the person that posted the post. And I said, I'm not. I saw that that person wasn't responding to you. And so I thought I would reach out and see if I could help. And so that's what I did. And yeah, so those are well, I came up with that last one was canvassing was my number 5. So I had 4 items, but canvassing was the 5th that I added to my list. So because I didn't share my screen, it didn't take me as long to go through everything, but I would love to answer any questions you have. I know it wasn't very long, so if I miss something, talk too fast, and hopefully my internet is okay. My computer, not my internet. I'm really sorry, y'all.
You did amazing. Like I said, I learned a lot, so I'm happy all the things you're sharing. So I do have a question, and then obviously anybody I'd be happy to, for you guys to ask questions and comments. But a year later, my brain still is like foggy.
In a fog. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what is your strategy or system that you have, if you have one, of actually doing these posts? Like, do you like every Friday you make these posts, or you know what I'm saying? Like, or do you just kind of like, I need to muster up some business, let me do a post and let me, whatever. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I will say it's usually every 6 months for the goodie bags, because I think we all have, we all are always looking for new people, but we also all have a huge customer base too. So there is the whole balance of, okay, I've got to find new people because these people I've already asked or whatever. So when it comes to the goodie bag post, it's usually every 6 months. And I think it's just hit or miss kind of how I'm feeling with the map post. I've got, if I have a ton of samples, I'm like, I got to get rid of these samples. I do a goodie bag post or the map post or canvas in my, a neighborhood that is nearby. Yeah, I think it's kind of just however I'm feeling. I don't really have a strategy.
Well, that's I'm sure it's like relieving for a lot of people, because I think that because all of us are so busy, with the businesses we already have, the people, clients, consultants, everything. And so just to know that you're successful with, hey, I'm going to throw this out there, instead of like, because it takes time. You could obviously, all the follow-up you're doing, like, that would be crazy if you did it more than every 6 months. Like,
yeah.
You'd be so overwhelmed. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Some people out there probably could do it. I don't know. So I'm glad you shared that. Are your sample packs done already before you post? This is what Dana's asking. Also, do you find your return is on it? It's expensive here to send out some samples. It's like average of $250 to $300 per, depending on where it is going. That's a great question.
Okay, so I will say I will go as inexpensive as possible when it comes to something I'm going to mail. I have found that I wasn't seeing a huge return on my investment when I would, spend a good amount on something that was just going to someone I didn't know. Obviously, we have different levels of things we send to different levels of people in our business, I think. I mean, that might just be me.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I was trying to make it really, really short and sweet. I'm like, I knew it was I don't know what's going on. It's a new computer, so it is what it is. Okay, so when it comes to mail, you need to decide first off, yes, have it all ready to go. Don't do this unless you're ready. And decide how you're going to get it to them. If I just wanted to do just local people, like let's say the neighboring neighborhoods, that I could legit just take a day and drive to all of them and just drop it on their door, I probably would do that if I knew it was going to save me $50, maybe. I don't know. Depends on my day, I guess. But I will say that if the cost of what you're trying to send is high, I would probably rethink what I was sending, more than likely. I typically, I have stuff in here that has, it's the room sprays and things like that are liquid. But if you just do something flat and put it in a regular envelope, I think that's just as great. I mean, I think you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on something you're not sure you're going to get a return on. So I guess I'll leave it at that. Dana, was it Dana? I figured it was Dana. Dana and I, we talk a lot about mail a lot. And, I know that that's a concern for Canadians. So, I mean, everyone in general, we all have those concerns, but I wasn't trying to pigeonhole you, Dana, at all. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was going to say, just unmute yourself if you have a question, or maybe put your hand up and just in case.
Shauna!
There we go, Shauna.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have a question.
How are they watching
tell
TV?
You something, Erin.
Dad said he shut the internet
and
off.
Anybody else that has
And
that
moved it to the house.
negative mindset and that negative talk of I am not special, I'm not doing anything special. Yes, you are. You're special. You're a queen. You don't get to this point. You don't have success in this business by doing mediocre stuff. It may be simple, but get the neck, girl. You're going to have to come spend a week with me, okay?
I know.
Special. You are special.
I really lack confidence, you guys. Like, that's huge. It's a huge concern. It always has been. So thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate it.
I'm going to need you to write like 3 positive things on your mirror every morning and say it every day, okay?
Okay, girl, I will.
Right.
I knew as soon as I saw you, I was like, oh, she's gonna get me in check.
I love you, girl.
I was scrolling through chat and I don't see any other questions. It's really simple. It really is. That's why I was like, this is not going to be that big of a deal. But
I think that's what makes it such a big deal, Erin, is that we need to stick to our core values. We need to stick to be doing things that are duplicatable for our teams.
Yeah.
So I think the more simple we learn and actually implement, it's going to be more effective. Ashton just shared, and it's funny, I was going to say the same thing. I got the same email that UPS's prices are going down, which is awesome. Very exciting about that. Anybody else have any? And Shauna, thank you for putting her in check, because we all need to know that. We all need that reminder. I think we all go through that phase of like, I know I do. Like, I don't share much because I'm like, I ain't doing anything nobody else is doing, or, everybody else is better than me. So we all need to hear that.
If anybody needs to hear it, you just hit my inbox. Okay?
Every time.
Okay. Anybody have any comments or questions? if you do, I'm trying to, let me do the gallery. Oh yeah, I can see everybody now. So I don't see any hands up. So we are, Erin, thank you so much.
Sure.
These are such great tangible actions that everybody can do and share with our teams. Thank you for your time. So we're actually looking for, we're going to try to get our calendar going for 2022. So if, oh, am I like echoing? I'm sorry. Anyways, if you have anybody on your teams or you personally feel like you have something that you're doing or going to be doing, or your teams have shared with you of things they're going to be doing to kind of revamp and refresh their year, if you can reach out to either Shannon or I so we can get them on the calendar, that would be amazing. We kind of want to get everybody booked, you know, early so you guys can plan and everything. But I just want to kind of reiterate with what Shauna just said, that one, good for all of us for showing up, because we all need that reminder. We all need to learn new things. We all need to remember that we're not here because by fluke, that, you know, you don't just fall into this position. And whether we sometimes have amazing seasons and some kind of change because of life. Erin shared about how her life changed and circumstance changed. And that happens even with us in the business, even if we don't stop doing the business, our seasons change, life changes. And so how we work our business may be different, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're no longer amazing. It's just, you do things differently. So, thank you both for that reminder. And like I said, I'm so glad you shared that part of your story, Erin, because it made me go, well, shoot, I need to really make sure that I get a little bit more in tune with my reinstatements, because they're people, they have dreams, things change, and that's important for us to remember. So any last thing you want to leave us with, Erin?
I just think I was gonna have a statement about, like, you know, you just never know what. I mean, I always say there is a reason somebody comes back, and sometimes you're like looking at their numbers and not talking to them, and like, what's going on? Why is this person coming back? And then she's got 0. But there is a reason. I feel like with all these books that are out there, and the books that I've been reading recently and trainings that I've done recently have been all about. People want a connection. They want a community. They want to be part of something, and they're willing to get paid 0, less than $300, $0 to $300 is what I'm hearing. And people don't care about the money. They care about, you know, they care about the connections that they have because of Scentsy. So,
oh, Shanna said this is her first SSD huddle. Yay, congratulations.
Yay!
Not even official till tomorrow, but congratulations on your promotion. Thank you for being here. That is so awesome. And I agree, this was an awesome call. Very, very
Aww.
good. And way to show up and take advantage of all the resources like immediately. That is amazing. I know that. I think that's one of the things I was the most excited about promoting, is being able to tap into all these things.
Yes, the people.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to let everybody get back to our very busy, productive lives and businesses with just this very, very simple quote. Dreaming, after all, is a form of planning.
Love it.
Oh.
All right, love you all. We'll see you next month. And like I said, please flood our inboxes with some names, or even you, if you feel like you're doing, even if you don't feel like you're doing something amazing, if you want to share what you're doing to kind of get your 2002 going, please have the courage to share with us, because I'm sure it's amazing. All right, love you guys. Bye.
Bye.